Welcome back to the Dap It Up podcast, the place for geeks of all creeds. I'm Dray the Spectre,
This is Gunnm.
And I'm Beet.
and welcome back to Final Fantasy Month. We're in the second week of Final Fantasy Month. Today, we're going to go over some of the bigger stories in gaming, including highlights from Summer Games Fest. Then we'll be talking Final Fantasy remakes. But before any of that, Gunnm, what's up with you?
Not too much. Been heavy on the content grind lately. Still working on a few videos, so got those in the pipeline. I know Wrap It Up is a little bit late, but Wrap It Up should be out tomorrow. So I got that coming. Lots of Street Fighter. I've been actually getting pretty good at it now. So it's been making a lot of sense to me. So lots of Street Fighter happening.
What's your rank?
I haven't been doing rank yet, but I have been playing high ranked players and I've been doing pretty well. But I am gonna start rank soon. So new season of Overwatch, been checking that out. When we get to our what you're playing section, I'll have some opinions on that. Other than that, I've been just chilling. Just chilling. What you mean, Cap?
What about you, Beat?
I've just really just been working. I mean, I can't really say that I've done anything else. I mean, anything else I did will be in the what you're playing section. Honestly, that's it for me.
Right. Still continuing my journey of rearranging the yard. I'm working on a fence right now, or not so much a fence, but a gate to put in front of the carport. Because the annoying thing about my house is there's no back door, so it's like you're letting the dogs out the side every day, and I mean they're trained, but it helps to have that extra layer of security to know you can just open the door, and if a squirrel's out there, it'll be fine. But that's it for me. Not too much, just farmer drain again. But out this week, remember, you have to guess the game that don't exist. And if you do, you get a bonus point toward the bonus round. We may not do a bonus round today, but it'll carry over into your next one, whatever that may be. So pay close attention. One mistake that I noticed people make with this is you just thinking too hard. You know what I mean? So like, just pay attention, listen to each one, and when one pops up that you're like weird, just make a note. You know. But okay, that would be my advice. June
They all
13th.
sound weird to me.
They do.
You're right. I mean, yeah, June 13th. GTA Online, San Andreas Mercenaries. Then on June 14th, we have Black Desert Online, Land of the Morning Light expansion. Dubium, WWE 2K23, Race to NXT Pack DLC, bars. And The Cavalier. June 15th, we have Crime Boss Rockay City, Fall of Porcupine, Layers of Fear. And then finally on June 16th, we have Park Beyond.
Torn. I'm torn between like three answers.
There's like two of them that stick out.
Ooh, 50-50. Maybe.
What's your 50-50, Greg? Or Gunnm, sorry.
You gotta pick one. I ain't doing no one or the other.
Definitely that. Follow Porcupine BS.
Yeah,
That's the
that's
one
gonna
you picking.
follow Porcupine as well.
It was the Cavalier.
Are you serious?
How the
I'm
fuck?
dead serious.
Bro,
Okay.
Yeah,
what?
see, I'm always 5 steps ahead. But what you
Clearly,
have to
bro.
do is you gotta start just guess. I guess just do
I
what you're
guess
doing
that's all
now.
you can
Yeah,
do. That's all you can
Yeah.
do, bro. Some of these real games, I'd be like, that's gotta be. Oh,
but
don't even need a game that.
No
the only
disrespect
thing
to the
off limits.
developer of Follow Porcupine.
Hey, mad disrespect. I don't know who thought of that name. It's probably a great
Sorry,
game. Fall of
probably is.
Porcupine. Honestly, I should be thanking them because I'm continuing to stump you guys.
Hmm.
I should be
Bro, I'm
thanking
looking
them
it
for
up.
that.
Looking it up. Let me see how if this game looks good. What is this?
Just
Hell
make
even is
sure
this?
you never do your research because if you do research, that defeats the entire spirit of it.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah, just go in not knowing what's coming. But I mean, one day y'all probably get a hang of like what's real, what's fake, how I name things or
No, bro,
not.
I'm living in the Matrix.
This
Apparently.
Somebody
is
call Andrew
hilarious.
Tate. I need him to break me out.
It is hilarious to watch. But I wanted to give you the chance, since you weren't here last week, to list your top 5 Final Fantasy games
Oh, done. All right, number one, Final
in
Fantasy
order.
Remake. Okay, number
Okay.
one, Final Fantasy Remake for 7. Fantastic. Number 2, Final Fantasy 14, specifically the Endwalker and Shadowbringers DLCs. Amazing. Peak Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 3, Final Fantasy X, if for no other reason than Auron is a badass. Number 4, Final Fantasy 8, I like Squall. And then number 5, I honestly am kind of stumped on that one. I feel like every other Final Fantasy game I played was kind of like, eh. Like just for me personally, not that there's no other good ones. I'll throw it back to the
Right.
OG Final Fantasy, the original.
Oh, you
The
played that one?
original.
Yeah, I did forever ago, but I played it.
Oh wow.
Hmm.
All right.
Okay.
So 14 over 10, huh?
Over 10? Yeah, I think that those
I'm
DLCs were
not.
amazing. Those expansions were just peak, and the storylines were great. Final Fantasy 14 is the best MMO on the market right now. Fight me about it.
I'm. I'm.
Um,
I'm not mad at it. A lot of people say the same.
Mm.
Well,
Well, the same. What do they say? That it's the best MMO or
a lot
over
of people.
10?
A lot of people say it's the best Final Fantasy. Period.
yeah, a lot of people will say that.
Really? What other
Mm.
Final Fantasies did they play? It's not that I don't doubt it. I'm just like, I haven't heard that take personally, but I guess it depends what the source is, right?
Yep.
So we do have this communal list. It only has 8 slots because I mean, between Gunnm and I, we've only played 8 mainline games. It looks like mainline. I mean, Crisis Core is on there too, but this is what we have, and you can make a case. I can't promise it'll change anything, but
Mm-hmm.
this is supposed to be a collective list, so just make a strong argument if you can. And I know you're gonna have to take off soon, so
Okay. I got
we'll just.
this. We can make it happen.
You said what?
I got 15 minutes. We can make it happen.
Okay, yeah, because fireworks are probably about to fly this Final Fantasy month. So here's what we got. All the way down in 8, we have Final Fantasy 13. And now what I want to do is count each entry separately.
Mm-hmm.
We did make the exception for Final Fantasy 7 remake because I don't know, it's kind of hard to talk about Final Fantasy VII removed from remake. Um, as far as I know, Gunnm has only played the first Final Fantasy 13, and I mean, we both agreed to place it all the way down at 8. If I've ever played it, it was for 5 seconds. So the only context I have is what everyone else has told me and what I've seen of it.
13, the original, was the only halfway decent one. The other two suck.
And we have it at the bottom.
Oh, really? So
No,
now,
they're terrible. I'll die on that hill. I don't care.
so now I really have a reason to not play. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, why put yourself through that, right? So at 7, we actually have Final Fantasy 14.
I agree with that placement.
You agree with it? You got to hear the rest of the list first.
You said which one? 14?
At 7, yes. 7 out
Oh,
of
no, I disagree. I was thinking 15. 15 deserves to be at the bottom of the pile as well, but
right. I'll
no,
place a
I
pin in
disagree.
that.
I disagree with
I'll place a pin in that.
fervently. Okay, let's go.
Crisis Core is over 14.
You're smoking crack. Okay, continue.
N2 is over Crisis Core.
You said what? Final Fantasy 2?
N2.
N2? Oh, like Dissidia?
no, 10.
Idiot. No,
2.
Final Fantasy 10 2.
The sequel to 10.
10-2?
Yes.
Bro, how is 10-2 placing this high? Okay, continue.
It's out of what we played.
Oh,
It's
fair
over
enough.
Crisis Core.
All right.
Yeah. Which I would have put at the bottom personally, but Gunnm fought it. So Final Fantasy 12 is over 10 2. Final Fantasy 15 is over 12.
What?
15 as a finished product, not 15 on release, because everybody cried about it when it first came out. 10 is over 15, and then at the top we got Final Fantasy VII Remake. It sounds like the only thing you take umbrage with is the placement of 14.
And also 10-2, because 10-2 was like the combat was decent, but the story really wasn't it at all. I would say you should take probably Crisis Core deserves to be at the very bottom. I'm gonna agree with you. I played a little bit of it, but ugh.
That's how I felt.
But 14 deserves to be way higher than it is by a wide margin. I know neither of you play MMOs.
I disagree. Even it's like I haven't played it, but I think it's too esoteric, and that was the point I made.
Esoteric. I don't think that has much bearing on whether it's a great Final Fantasy game or not.
Nor did I assert that it does have a bearing on that. I just said it's esoteric. It's very specific, whereas everything on this list is more accessible. So that was just my line of thinking, because like 1 in 5 people is gonna be like, "Ooh, MMO," but any other game on this list, I feel, has more pickup and playability than 14. And that's why I was like, "Oh, well," because I'm sure it has things about it. I'm sure it. I don't know. I'm sure I'd like it.
Yeah, I heard good things about the story of 14.
At barest minimum,
right.
I think that 14 and 10-2 should be swapped.
And story goes a long way. Me personally, gameplay matters more than anything. But I mean, Final Fantasy is narrative driven, so we definitely have to consider that element. Story, characters, plot. So you want to switch 14 with which one?
10-2.
10-2?
At barest minimum, 10-2 does not deserve to be placed over 14.
I don't know. I feel like 10-2 is more fun than 14.
If you don't like MMOs, then I would agree with that assessment. But 14's mechanics are top notch. It's gameplay wise, it's one of the most fun MMOs to play.
I'd say the same about 10-2. I think what marred 10-2 was the story. You gotta fight for it, man.
I'll fight for it, but it's hard to convince people who don't play MMOs that that 14's gameplay is fucking phenomenal.
Right.
There's a reason
Well,
why it is
it's not
like
hard to
destroying
convince me
WoW
of
right
that.
now.
It's
And
not
like
hard to convince me of that. It just
the
has
boss
no place
fights,
in the argument
yeah,
about it being an esoteric choice.
it'd be an
That's the
esoteric choice.
thing.
I mean,
Yeah.
let me look up how many people.
I'm sure it has a huge player base, but
Yeah, it's 42 million people have played it. So to say it's inaccessible, it's less accessible. Yes, I'd agree, but it's
the
not so
word I
inaccessible
used
that
was
nobody's played it.
esoteric. Let
Esoteric.
me define esoteric. It is specific to itself. It's hard to sell. Like compared to everything else here. I'm not saying people don't play it. It's an MMO, you know what I mean? It's probably one of the lead MMOs on the market based on the way people talk about it. I just feel like I could convince my friends to play anything except maybe Crisis Core.
Yeah.
I feel like I could convince them to play anything else on this list before it.
I mean, you probably could, but I think if you
Yeah.
did convince them to play it, they would like it more than 10-2.
Maybe. I mean, we
It's
just
also
guessing
on.
at this
It's
point.
also on console. So even if you don't have a gaming PC, it's on two generations of consoles. You can absolutely
Yeah.
pick it up and play it.
But see, again, it's not about accessibility. I'm
It's about
saying it's
interest.
about the appeal and interest of it.
Okay.
But I like, I see where you're going with it. As far as Crisis Core, I agree that that should just be all the way at the bottom. But for some reason, Gunnm was
Okay.
like,
All right.
no.
Let's compromise. We take Crisis Core. We swap it with 14.
Well, if we do that, then it'll be 14, 13 Crisis Core. Now,
That's
I
less
did say
disrespectful.
this, and I did say that if I played 14 at length, I probably would have placed it higher.
Mm-hmm.
I just liked remake 10, 15, and 12 enough that I'm like,
No, that's totally fair.
I'm
Totally valid.
confident that it wouldn't overtake those. But
Yeah.
I've been wrong before.
Yeah, what I will
I've been
say
wrong.
in the what's the word? Defense of 14 as a game is that the boss mechanics are solid. They're incredibly tight. They're very cinematic. You have bosses have really dynamic and interesting phases. The cutscene work, the cinematography is on point. Absolutely on point. I'm trying to think of what else. It's very as far as MMOs go, it is a very accessible MMO. It's very easy. You don't have to make a bunch of characters, try different classes. You can play any class you want on one character. It's got to be one of the easiest MMOs to break into. It's just I'd say the one thing I would say holds it back from me, like it's only esoteric if you are just a flat no on MMOs, is the fact that you have to play through every single expansion story. Period. There's no skipping it. There's no accelerated. There's nothing. You just have to play through all of it, which isn't necessarily a bad thing if you've never played it, because the story is very good. But yes, it is esoteric. But for Crisis Core, which I would argue is basically a grindy Korean MMO without the MMO,
Crisis Core is a bad game.
it's a
So let's
bad
be
game.
clear.
Oh my
It's a bad
God.
game.
It is absolutely disrespectful to
All right.
Yoshi P to have that game above
Well,
it.
Beet
Oh,
made his case, Gunnm, so you can make your case again.
okay. Well, gameplay wise, I'll give you that, but the story in it was immaculate. Story in it was immaculate. I
It's a
will, I
shame the
will, I
voice
will
acting was
concede. Okay,
atrocious.
okay. So I'll concede putting it down on the list, but I refuse to put it below 13. 13 is just trash.
I would argue that
I'd
13
put it
is
above
better.
13. Then
I would
Crisis
argue.
Core?
Yes, absolutely. The voice acting
Absolutely
was
not.
good.
Absolutely
The
not.
characters were fun. The combat was fun.
The
I
characters were
enjoyed
fun.
playing 13.
Lightning was a fun
Characters were fun.
character
That's my first time
throughout.
hearing that.
No, I liked a lot of the characters. I liked Lightning, I liked Snow, I liked Lionel Richie, the black dude. He was fun.
I'm not as invested, so I can't say. I'm hearing a lot of firsts today. Is all. I'm getting a lot of firsts.
Absolutely
I
not.
thought.
When was the last time you played it? If you played it anything more than 5 years ago, this opinion is invalid.
Okay, my opinion is invalid. I have not played it. I've not played it since it came out.
No way. I'm like, you can't be talking about the same game.
I probably not aged well.
Okay, so I'm gonna be clear with you because I do plan on playing 14 because when Rebirth comes out, I want to have this discussion again, and at that point, hopefully we've all played more of the series to make a more definitive rounded out list.
I think 16 is gonna end up at the top of my list, bro. Everything I've seen so far.
I think it's gonna be it might be number 2 for me. But
we shall see.
Yeah, we'll see. Based on what I played, I got my opinions. Yeah, okay, so like I said, the only reason I'm fighting 14 so hard is because I need reasons to put it above other things on this list. Now, I will say this, right? Based on what you've told me, it stands to reason that 14 deserves a higher slot. So I'd even put it above 10-2. It's just 10-2. I think the only real problem with it was the story.
No, I agree. The customization, the dress sphere like system. I liked 10-2. Do not get me wrong. Yeah. The story was garbage though.
Yeah, but Gunnm, the thing is, how do you feel about Crisis Core shifting downward?
I mean, 2 out of the 3 of us think the combat is terrible. I mean, and I'm willing to concede that, it's a little repetitive.
A little.
Personally, I liked it, but I mean, because I think about it from this perspective, right? It's a PSP game, not like a regular console release. Like for the time, when it released, it was an amazing game. It was even just graphically, it was a really, really high bar. It was a technical feat. The amount of fidelity that they were pushing on that system. They were really pushing that system back in the day when it first released. Yeah. So it was
not so much with the voice acting,
but we have our opinions on that, but
yeah, and one of them is an incorrect opinion.
I agree. One of them is definitely it's cope. It's a cope opinion,
dude. Okay, so.
However, I will give you this. For a reunion, they should have did more for the combat. They should have tried changing it up a little bit.
They would have had to rebuild that game from the ground up.
I guess they would have.
Yeah, because it's just... I don't know, man. Crisis Core, here's... And I don't want to take up too much more of your time. Crisis Core, we're definitely going to put at the bottom. Let's just... over 13? What do y'all think? Over 13?
Crisis Core over 13? Absolutely.
You said no? Beet?
For what? Sorry. I had somebody...
Core over 13?
Crisis Core over 13? My opinion is invalid, right? So I'm not sure. I beat 13. I did not beat Crisis Core. That's all I can say about it.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Okay, how about this? Crisis Core and 13 are both tied for last right now.
I accept that. I completely accept that.
And when we revisit this, okay, so I want to try 14. But how about we put 14 It doesn't seem. I'm not gonna lie to you. It don't seem right to put 14 on the same tier as 10-2. So tentatively, I'll put 14 above 10-2.
Okay. I will play it
and
with you when you do decide to play it.
and we'll see
I have some
how
jobs I
my
need to level up
opinion.
anyway.
Yeah, we'll see how my opinion evolves because again, this is an evolving list over time. Things will
Mhm.
change, opinions will change. 16
Mhm.
might be someone's favorite. 16 might be someone's like fifth favorite. But I'll close by saying just to hammer that point home in agreement with Beet, the number one problem with Crisis Core as a game is I don't think you are more serviced by playing that game than you are going on the Final Fantasy wiki. Like the only reason to play Crisis Core is to see the events of Nibelheim, like see what happened. And even then, I don't even think it's worth playing. You might as well just go on YouTube and look at all the cutscenes. But see, I don't feel that way about these other games. I think they at least have merit. Like the ones I've played, I think they have merit, and I believe you that 14 does as well. So sorry to kick you while you down, Gunnm, but
All right, bro. Yoshi P don't miss. That's all I gotta say, bro. That's why 16 gonna be the greatest Final Fantasy of all time. Yoshi P does not know how to miss. He's
I
him.
fully believe you're gonna think it is because it's the most unga bunga Final Fantasy I've ever
Yes,
played in
and
my
I am
life.
an Unga Bunga person. Unga Bunga appeals to me on a deep spiritual Saiyan level.
I don't think it's gonna be better than 7 remake,
Probably
but
not, no.
Oh
But it'll be
god.
it
really fucking good. Oh,
yeah,
stop being an
it,
asshole. Fuck out.
that yeah, that opinion could definitely change though. I'm gonna reserve. We'll see, man. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know. It's just I have a weird feeling about it. I am very excited based on what I played. Very excited, but the way people are talking about it, they're like best demo I've ever played. I'm like, it bothers me. So the same way you greatly enjoy Final Fantasy 14,
Mhm.
despite it being a different kind of Final Fantasy. Note that I never said it being an MMO is a bad thing, nor will
Yeah,
it bar me from ever trying it. But this game kind of has that same issue, but only for me. The difference
yeah,
is Final Fantasy 16 has a massive appeal because of the action roots. But I was playing it
yeah,
like, you know how you play a game for the first couple hours and you kind of get the lay of the land, you start thinking, okay, this is probably what the mid game is going to look like. This is probably what the end game is going to look like. And right
yeah,
now, what I've seen and what I've heard has me feeling like the game isn't going to be anywhere near as customizable as some other entries on this list. And I'm like, a great story, good graphics, and an amazing world. Sure, but that's not all I come to Final
hmm
Fantasy for.
yeah.
Mhm.
So we'll see. But I know you gotta go.
Yeah, I
We'll
gotta
we'll
take
talk.
off here.
All right.
All you
Yeah.
people, watch the content. I never got to talk about what I was doing, but I beat Diablo 4 on hardcore, the
You
campaign
did.
anyway, and then I immediately died. So, no longer hardcore, but I plan on playing with Dray. You may see some clips of us in an upcoming video. Stay tuned.
Yeah. At least you beat it
All
before you
right.
died.
True, true. I was happy about
Yeah.
that. But daps to all of y'all. Have a good one.
But Gunnm,
Mm-hmm.
you not your feelings aren't hurt about Crisis Core?
Uh, not really. I mean, I
No.
do. I will concede. Like I said, like the combat's it's a little dated. It's definitely dated. It's definitely from its time period, but
Mhm.
I still think the story's very good. And although
I,
you might disagree and he disagrees, I think the voice acting's great.
I think the world disagrees with you. Like, I don't. It's time we have an intervention, man. I've let it go before.
Oh
What about this
god.
voice acting do you think is great? Because I've known you to have some crazy opinions about English voice acting,
Oh my
but it's like
goodness.
your ears don't work or something. I'm really mad right now. You think Crisis Core, and you
I think
stood on this
Sephiroth and
opinion.
Genesis and all of them sound great. All of them sound great.
Genesis is like the worst one. Zach sounds like
You
Sonic
know
the
what? Actually, I
Hedgehog.
take that back. I take that back. I take that back.
Oh,
Like
you
I'll
take
give
it
you
back.
I'll give you okay, I'll give you kinda Genesis. I'll give you
Kind of Genesis.
Genesis.
Why kind of?
I'll give
No,
you
no, we
Genesis.
having it. It's Final Fantasy month, bro. We having this discussion.
Oh god. All right.
Come
So
on. Why kind of Genesis?
I'll give you Genesis because you know his I don't know if it's just like his mannerisms, like as far as like when he says those really cryptic lines from that play, like his little when he goes on
Loveless.
his little Shakespearean spiel. But I don't know. I'll give it to you that it kind of irked me a little bit too, especially when he did that. It didn't
It's
sound
not
natural.
just that. It didn't correct. But
It
it's
didn't.
not only that. It's not only the delivery, it's the voice itself, dude. I felt like I was playing a PS1 game or something. I'm like, who directed this? And then Zach
Oh
is a
god.
human, haircut and all. Zach, I told you how I feel about Zach, the human Sonic the Hedgehog.
I think Zach
Oh
was
my god.
cool. He was Sonic the Hedgehog.
Gunnm. Sonic the Hedgehog is cool. Zach? Well, I'll give you this, man. Zach, he's a strong character, right? And you want to root for him. We talking about the voices right now, man.
Yeah.
And his voice. What does he say? What? What? Oh yeah. Is it like? Oh yeah.
Oh
After
yeah.
every encounter, pretty much every encounter. Like I don't.
Something like
I
that.
don't know if you realize we're adult men. Okay. We gotta move past this Naruto Shonen Jump appreciation of storytelling, man. We can't be
Oh
like
god.
accepting any old dribble. I'm not saying it's a
Oh
PSP
man.
game. Like you said. I'm not trying to hold it to this impossible standard. But to say that the voice acting was good, you have to literally be on crack. You
Oh
got a
god.
negative balance in your bank account showing leg on the side of the road right now. All crack for you to think that game has. Sephiroth was the one, him and Aerith.
Mhm.
Maybe Sung even. Those are like the only people I can be like, oh, that was a good performance. Zach? Genesis? I'm Soldier Boy right now. Genesis? Look, man, each his own, but that's hard. That's hard for me to accept, man. That's a difficult opinion for
Oh
me to
man.
sit by and accept. Uh,
Oh goodness.
I mean, hey. Anything else? Anything else you want to
That
speak speak good on Crisis Core's name?
I swear y'all, it's a good game. Go out and play it.
Go on YouTube and
Yeah,
search
you didn't think
Crisis
Sephiroth
Core
sounded great?
cutscenes. I think Sephiroth was the standout. But like I wouldn't say anyone in the game sounded I wasn't captivated by anyone, to be honest. It's not like every scene with Sephiroth, oh, he just commanded the room. No, not really. He just sounded like any old gruff anime character. So I mean, but he sounded better than everyone else around him.
Okay.
Honestly, and that's the reason to play that game is to understand who Zack is and what Sephiroth did without spoiling anything, of course. But nah,
Mm.
man, I'm just it astounds me that you think that game is so well voice acted. I'm just nobody has corrected you. You've never. I'm glad you haven't said that in public because you would get stoned. Like you would get stoned for saying that.
Oh god.
Shame, shame.
Oh god.
But let's move on from my blood pressure rises anymore.
Oh my god. All right.
So what you playing, man? Because I wanted to before we get to that, I wanted to touch on the big news from Ubisoft Forward, Capcom Showcase, and Summer Games Fest. One of those stories definitely ties into our overarching topic right now, but is there anything that stood out to you in particular at any of those showcases?
From Ubisoft Forward and Capcom stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So, while what I saw from Ubisoft Forward, the Star Wars game, while it was kind of rough, frame rate wise, I'm saying, like from the gameplay they did show, it's still in development. It's early. But that Star Wars Outlaws, like it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. That definitely looks like a game to look out for from Ubisoft.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hopefully it's not a game that falls into the usual Ubisoft traits as far as like their open world stuff. But this seems like a really different title from them. Like definitely like a breath of fresh air from what you would usually expect from them. So it's very interesting, and I'll definitely be keeping my eyes on it. It's been a long time since a Star Wars game has really like kind of intrigued me to this degree. Uh,
Yeah, I agree. It
so
seems that way. It seems
I'm
like a huge
yeah.
tent pole, something to look out for. But I mean, I'll say this: Ubisoft. I'm not really on the whole I hate Ubisoft train. I mean, they have some tendencies
Mm-hmm.
with their modern releases that I'm not a huge fan of, but I tend to enjoy the Ubisoft games I do play. Like mostly, Valhalla was a miss. I loved Odyssey. Uh, I thought Origins was great. You know, Far Cry 6 was good, but you know, it was more of the same. So if Star Wars Outlaws is at the very least akin to those games with a Star Wars coat of paint, I know it'll be enjoyable for me. It's just like you said, we'll see if they have 8 million blips on the map or if they're trying to bar progression behind XP boosters.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but at least other than that, I mean, there's the Avatar game, but I'm not into Avatar like I used to when I was younger. And I'm really into sci-fi, and the universe that James Cameron really crafted with Avatar is something that you would think would be something that would keep me intrigued, but 10 years for a movie is too long, so I couldn't care less about
Yeah.
this game.
Yeah, and Avatar is like, I think I'm with you, man. It's a really good movie. I think it's worth rewatching, but it definitely was carried by the fidelity. Like it
Mm,
was carried by how much of an event it was when you went to the theater. Make sure you get your 3D glasses. Ooh, I'm there. I'm on Pandora. You know what I mean? Never
nowadays.
experienced anything that looks like this. Then you go back and you watch it, and you definitely aren't watching it within those parameters. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's not. I think Avatar is like, not to be reductive, but it's baby's first sci-fi because there's nothing unique about it. Like, maybe
Mm,
you can make the argument for the way the Navi connect with nature and how the
yeah.
planet's one living, breathing thing, but I've seen that before too.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it took the movie 12 years to come out, and now we got a game that I guess is supposed to be like kind of like a quasi sequel to it. Like even
for the
James Cam,
movie.
yeah, yeah, to
Oh,
the recent movie that came out. So even James Cameron is working on it with in collaboration with Ubisoft. So, but I don't know. I couldn't care less about the Avatar property, but those were like really, I mean, other than Assassin's Creed Mirage, I mean, those were like the biggest takeaways from it. They
yeah.
so there was something interesting that I didn't know was announced there. Uh that I just found out about. So obviously you know about Far Cry, so they're making a Netflix series about Blood Dragon, but who's doing it really
Blood
has
Dragon.
has me interested. So it's the animators that did Castlevania.
Oh, I mean, you had me at Blood Dragon, but if it's those animators, I haven't watched that,
You
but
you
I've
gotta watch
seen glimpses
Castlevania.
of it. Yeah, you
Great
told me
show.
that. I mean, dude, I'm like neck deep in Naruto Shippuden right now, so I can't juggle them. I gotta force my way through. Quick tangent, quick tangent. I just
Hmm.
wanted to say, dude, this watching this show now, I have so much appreciation for streaming because if I was watching Naruto as episodes released,
Oh God.
I would have offed myself, dude. Would have jumped off a cliff. Cause, dude, just the fight. Oh my god, the fight with what's his name, Sasori.
Sasori.
The,
Oh
the,
God.
yeah, the puppet man. I'm like, y'all still fighting him because I
Feel
watched,
like DBZ. 10
dude,
episodes of one
worse,
fight.
worse. Listen, cause it's a geek podcast, y'all. We could talk about anime, but dude, freaking, I watched 3 to 4 episodes, 5 on a crazy night, right? Because I'm just trying to move through, skip the intro, skip the outro, done, done, done. And I'm on episode like 31. I just got past that first Akatsuki arc where they beat up Puppet Boy and nasty mouth on the hand gum chewing boy. Datara. Yeah, yeah. Like he
Yeah.
narrowly escapes, right?
Yeah.
This entire arc, man, it capped off beautifully. But there were several points where I'm like, oh my God, is this what I'm in for? Because freaking Team Guy is fighting clones of themselves for 5 episodes straight with no progress. No progress. All we see is Neji. fighting itself, and we see Guy. Oh my god, the Guy scenes were terribly animated. Like we just see Guy doing the same loop in 1010 doing her thing, just throwing stuff, just reaching in a bag and throwing stuff. And then other 1010 off 1010 is throwing stuff back at her like, and she's just, oh, what do I do? I'm like, it's the dumbest. Look, bro, I tried so hard to appreciate it. I tried so hard to appreciate it. But bro, why
This,
am I watching? It's like they just wanted the characters to be there and they didn't have anything for them to do. So they said, hey, fight yourself. Because if you all went to fight Sasori or Datara, you'd rinse them. So they had to make the other characters busy. But dude, I'm like, man, is he dead yet? God. Came back to life. They destroy the original body. Then they fight the real him. Then he goes to his super form. And it's standard anime business, right?
yeah.
But I'm just like, dude, I can imagine if I was waiting week to week for this to come out because they spend a whole episode reviving. Spoilers. They spent an entire episode reviving Gaara. An entire episode just reviving him. Then an entire episode mourning Lady Chio. It's like some of this y'all can just move through. And I imagine that the manga was better about just saying, okay, this thing that happened, few pages. This thing that happened, few pages. Like, I wanted to sink in, but I'm like, God, can you and when Naruto, I'm gonna stop with this because some people probably like, I want to talk about games. Bro, when Naruto finally stole on Datara, I was so over the moon. But then they did that weak thing that they always do in this series. Substitution jutsu. So I'm to
Oh
believe he hit
god.
him. He got that first hit off, whopped him, got him on the ground, substitute. When did that happen? But anyway, that's it, bro. That's it. I had to update you. I should have said all this in the what's up with you section.
Oh
But
god, that's funny.
yeah, I'm sorry, man.
That is
You,
funny.
you were we were talking about Capcom Showcase, Summer Games Fest. We pretty much moved from the Ubisoft Forward. Did you see any
Yeah.
of the news on the new Prince of Persia?
Not really. No. I have heard that it seems good
Really? That's
for
what
the
you
people that have
heard?
tried it. Yeah.
I well, people are not liking what they're seeing.
Hmm.
The new 2D one, revamped art style, and it screams to me. I don't know if you remember, there was a Prince of Persia game that came out in 2008 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
It was just called Prince of Persia. Do you remember that?
No.
So
Well,
it had
actually,
a
yes, yes, I did. No, I'll take it back.
the cell shaded one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and that one I liked quite a bit, but apparently there's this huge group of people who hate it. So I just get the same vibe from this where people who play it are probably gonna like it,
Mm-hmm.
but
I think it
the
looks
world at
fun.
large.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I want another 3D Prince of Persia, but I'll play either. I'm not tripping.
Yeah.
Capcom.
All right. So, Capcom. They had quite a bit to show here. Let's see. So they started out with, man, they just really love killing my dreams with Mega Man X Dive Offline coming to Steam and iOS and Android. They just love killing my dreams. killing my dreams softly. And it's a gotcha game. So that's great.
I
Yeah.
love those. We
Yeah.
love gacha games.
And you'll never see me touch one.
It
I have tried one and never again.
has to be the right one. I bet you'd play that Persona one when it came out.
Nah.
Say you won't. Say you won't right now.
I will not touch that.
Okay. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
All
A
right.
North American release. Well, go ahead.
So, next game they went straight into was that Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess game, which was shown at the Xbox Showcase. They didn't really say anything new about it. Just, it just looked good. Good looking game. I'm happy
game.
that it's coming. That they got something like that coming. Very very unique looking title. And then they got into Ghost Trick, which now that I've seen more of it, it does look interesting. So, interesting fact about that game, that Ghost Trick game. It was developed in the RE engine, apparently.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. So, and there's a demo out.
It really is.
Like,
I need to play it.
Yeah, watching it again, like, it does look more interesting now. Like, just the concept of it, like saving people from death by rewinding time a little bit. Like, that sounds really interesting. Like, I might give the demo a try.
I always thought it had a funny name, Ghost Trick. But I don't remember how long ago it was I first saw it. But I remember thinking, yeah, it's interesting. It didn't really light my fire or anything, but you know me, man. I'm willing to give anything a shot. And you said there's a demo, so great. Anything else out of there?
Let's see. So you got a really, really expansive gameplay trailer of Exoprimal. Personally, I'm not any more interested than I originally was, but it is day one Game Pass, so can give it a try that way, but I'm really not interested. It's, I don't know. I don't know what this game's trying to be.
It looked better than Overwatch to me.
Better than Overwatch. Okay. Okay, so after that, there's a Apollo Justice collection coming. So the Apollo Justice trilogy.
Just Apollo? Because I caught the Cliff Notes. So
I
thought there was an Ace Attorney trilogy. It's Apollo Justice?
That's what it seems like it's called to me. It's called the Apollo Justice Ace Attorney trilogy. So it includes Apollo Justice Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. Oh, there are two Phoenix Wright games.
Oh, okay.
So Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice.
Oh, great.
But they're calling it the Apollo Justice Ace Attorney trilogy. That doesn't even make sense to me.
No, it makes.
I mean, I don't know the story.
I think it's like a hybridization of both. Yeah.
I don't know the story of the game, so that it's.
Did they have a release date on that?
Early 2024 for that. Let's see. When is Exoprimal?
Everything.
So Exoprimal. Oh shit! That actually comes out tomorrow. No, wait. Is today the 14th? No, that was yesterday.
15th. Oh.
Oh, so it is out. So Exoprimal's out, y'all.
I'll give it a shot. I'll let you know what I think. Okay, so let's move right along.
Oh, there's one more. One more. Because this is one that interested me from the Capcom Showcase. I didn't even know about this game or that it existed. Pragmata. So apparently, I guess this game's been in development hell, but it has been delayed out of 2023. So we can come to assume, because of the trailer they dropped, like it looks like it's pretty far along in development now. It's gonna come out 2024. It's a really pretty game, very interesting. I'm not too sure like what it's about, but I'm definitely intrigued with what I saw.
Yeah.
So
Don't know what it's about, but I know it looked good.
sometimes games be like that.
They be like that, man. They do. And
Some,
that's everything from Capcom, right?
yep, yeah, that's it. Aside from Dragon's Dogma 2, you know, but we already know.
Yeah. You know,
And then,
Dragon's Dogma 2, I feel obligated to play it. But
yeah, I plan to get it.
yeah, the people who talk about Dragon's Dogma, they really like
They really
Dragon's
like it.
Dogma. So
They really
I'm
do.
like, hey, I slept on it, but I'm starting to feel like it's worth revisiting.
Mm-hmm.
I may just wait for the second one, or I may play the first one just so I have some context. But you know, we already have so much on our plates. It's hard to make time for all these games.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
I've been meaning to say I'd somewhat have a plan to attack this backlog for this year, so I'm gonna be working
yeah.
towards getting some of these games out the way.
Well, you know, since you said that, how about we transition right into what you playing?
Okay, so been very heavy into Street Fighter, much more so than Overwatch lately. Trying to learn the game. I play Chun-Li, who's a charge character. Very hard to learn, but I feel like I'm properly learning Street Fighter through doing it. So thankfully, I went with her and decided to stick to my guns rather than going the easy
Change your
route.
mind.
Yeah, going the easy route, playing someone easy like Marissa or something. Like I feel like I'm properly learning the game, and it's been very rewarding.
Hmm.
I've been winning a lot. I've been losing a little bit, you know, to certain characters. You know, don't know the matchup, but it's it's very rewarding.
You know, I
But
gotta call you out, right?
for what?
You've been winning a lot, losing a little bit. To who?
Characters that give me trouble.
No. To who? CPU?
No,
Your
people,
friends? People? What people?
people and friends. I mean, just random
Friends?
people I play. Yeah.
Hey, you know what you remind me of? There's this title on Street Fighter 6. It's like I'm the best at locals.
Oh
Did you
god.
see that pop up? I remember I
No.
was playing online and I got this badge or something. It said I'm the best at
Oh,
locals.
you know what? I have seen that.
Yeah.
I have seen that.
Well, you telling me you ain't played online, huh? You ain't played
I,
ranked?
I haven't played rank yet. More just playing people I know so far and like casual matches
Man.
here and there. Just trying to learn.
Mm, mm. That's fine. That's fine. But it's just you were so. If y'all don't know, Gunnm and I have a bit of a. I don't know if I call it a rivalry when it comes to fighting games. It's more a difference in approach, I guess. A difference in approach, yeah. So when you said I'm getting good, I was like, oh, okay, what's your rank? Granted, you know me, I don't think
Mm,
rank is absolutely everything. I just think it does give a surface level look at where you are relative to the rest of the player base. So you said
mm,
you're getting good.
yeah. Okay.
I'm just playing. I mean, hey, we should play each other. We haven't done that yet.
That's true. Now make a nice video.
I hope your Chun-Li is up to snuff. It sounds like you're doing pretty good, though. What's most important is you're having fun. Cause
Oh yeah. Uh,
yeah, and that game. Oh, what's that?
Nothing. But I'm. This is the most fun I've had playing. I mean, to be fair, I haven't been playing fighting games for some months. Well, since Overwatch 2 release, really. So
Yeah.
this is the most fun I've had playing fighting games in a long time. So I'm really enjoying Street Fighter. Haven't touched
Me
World
too.
Tour really.
Surprisingly, that's super fun, bro. The World Tour. I mean, the main thing I get out of World Tour
Mm-hmm.
personally is if you decide to go the route of you find your designated master and that master happens to be your main, all you're doing is getting more playtime.
Mm-hmm.
You're developing mastery over the inputs. Like you just get to fight thousands of enemies as insert character here. So you
Mm-hmm.
main Chun Li. Chun Li, you meet her. She's the second master you bump into. So you get her style, and then you pretty much can just play as Chun Li for the rest of the game. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean that's how I look at it. Anytime I go to World Tour, I just look at it as cami practice.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, I'm just a male cami clone minus the thong.
I've
Yeah,
definitely seen some annoying enemies from my friends streaming it though, but
yeah.
it seems fine.
It is. It is. It's definitely a pleasant surprise. Anything else you've been playing, or pretty much just Street Fighter?
Uh, New season of Overwatch started, so anyone that plays Overwatch here, I will say this because Flats described it the best. I hope you're ready for the slow meta this season. Because this season is going to be boring as shit. So basically, they basically neutered all the counters for all the strong characters. So there's no way to deal with May and her stupid ass CC they added to her. There's no way to deal with Cassidy. Really. Cassidy is basically gonna screw over tracers, pretty much anyone with high mobility. It's like I don't know what the fuck these devs are thinking as far as like trying to balance this game, but it's like
How
I
does
don't
he
know.
screw over people with high mobility? 'Cause here's the
So
thing,
they
I
changed this
you
magnetic
gotta
grenade.
you have to fill me in because
So
I for the time being have given up on Overwatch 2.
okay, so here's
So
what they did to Cassidy's magnetic grenade. So it
uh-huh.
acts like a regular grenade now, so it can go a long distance. So not only that, the thing tracks you for 2 seconds. And when it sticks to you, it hinders your movement and you can't use any high movement abilities. So Morats can't phase, tracers can't blink, stuff like that. So plenty of time for Cassidy while you're slowed, because you're slowed at the same time for him to pop 2 headshots, you're dead. May can do something similar because they gave her something similar too. So her primary fire, like it's you played Overwatch 1, so you know, so you probably remember this. So
Oh yeah.
so her primary fire, like as she shoots at you, like it slows you down even further.
Mhm.
So to a point where like you're so slow, like you can just get an easy headshot. And I've been doing that like consistently. And it's like, wow, she's the best. Her and Cassidy are the best DPS in the game. Like if you're not running them,
Didn't
you may as well just say you want to lose. Unless you're
didn't
playing
Cassidy
Hanzo.
need something though?
Not really. He was already a strong DPS. He was already able to just two tap people. So not
Oh, because
really.
when Overwatch 2 first came out,
Mm.
I remember, I think I even heard Flat say that McCree just didn't have anything to set him
Mm.
apart from other DPS.
No, that's not the case now.
Maybe that's changed. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, he's really strong with dealing with most, you would say, problems in the game. Because of his ability to just, because he's a hit scan and it's just hit scans are just really strong.
Yeah. Well, uh bro, I just can't say I have any interest in jumping back into Overwatch 2, even with the recent reveal.
Yeah.
I just I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think it's worth the grind. I'm
It is
glad and
understandable.
I'm surprised that you're getting as much as you're getting out of it, because when you started playing it, that was just on a whim, but then you
Yeah.
stuck with it and now you just it's like your main thing. So
Yeah.
that's cool
So,
to see.
well, which is funny to say because this season, this might be the season I probably play the least because there's just nothing. And this meta is terrible. This is terrible. I don't know what they were thinking,
Yeah.
like giving May and Cassidy the kind of CC they have, but yeah, it's terrible. And they nerf Hanzo, so you can't even one tap May, so that's great. So
I have never seen a game shift the balance as much as this one. Never in my life,
it
bro.
doesn't make sense. And they nerfed the hell out of Widow, so
I
there's
don't.
another counter. So nothing you can do. You just gotta get
Well,
fucked by May and Cassidy the whole season.
hey, you just gonna have to keep me updated on that, man.
No, I would just not play it and just play something else.
Or, or don't, yeah, or don't. Let's get back into Final Fantasy, shall we?
All right.
So here's what I've been playing: Diablo 4, Street Fighter, and just was that 2 days ago? Yesterday? Can't quite remember. Like,
I think I know what you're gonna
very
say.
recently. Time is blurring together. But I played the Final Fantasy 16 demo.
Yeah, I think it was 2 days ago.
Yeah. Dude, okay. I want to give this game its flowers. I want to do it justice. It may seem like I'm of a mixed opinion based on things I was saying earlier. No, don't get me wrong. I fully believe that this game is going to be one of the standout releases of the year, just based on those 2 hours. And I know that's quite a claim when it's a 40 to 50 hour game, presumably. But man, I it's to the point where I'm trying to describe it without spoiling it. So bear with me here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, it has the flashiness of Final Fantasy 15 with the finesse of something more akin to a platinum type game.
Hmm.
So it's not just Warp Strike the game as Final Fantasy 15 was. That works in its advantage. It also works against it because there's not a lot of, at least right now. I mean, that could change halfway through the game. There's not a lot of room for customization, right? You got like
Mm-hmm.
a few slots, and then there's special moves that you can swap out for others that I'm assuming you unlock down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Um, The core loop seems to be, in combat at least, seems to be slash slash slash. Throw some magic in there if you want to. You can warp close to the enemy. You got precision dodging. You can jump, but I think the jumping is pointless unless there's aerial enemies. Um, there's the icon battles, which we know are supposed to all take on an identity of their own throughout the game.
Mm.
But it's weird, bro, because one thing I can say is it's a spectacle. It really is. Like that first one, oh my God, dude. You probably seen a lot of people say, is this really a game? It's a game, but
Mm.
it makes me wonder, like, because the icon battles, there's something to look forward to throughout the game. But you know how I feel in RPGs. Like I've complained about this ad nauseum over the years. I hate when RPGs, in the sake of doing something different, take away your identity as the controlled character. You know what I mean? Like the times in Trails of Cold Steel, for example, where you'll play as Lloyd rather than Reen. I'm like,
Mm.
why? I understand why they do it, but I was so invested in my level 46 character, and
Yeah.
then you got me playing as this random. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I get those kinds of vibes from it because while the icon battles seem like they're going to be dope, it's hard for me not to view them as anything other than a big budget mini game. You know? And
Mm-hmm.
I that may not be fair, but it plays into my greatest disappointment with this entry so far. And it's how heavily they emphasize the action. Granted, if this game was called Clive's Quest, I'd be like, bro, they got to make this a series. But it's Final Fantasy. And
Mm.
it's only seeming Final Fantasy in name and aesthetic so far. And they got the
Mm.
little choral rendition of the victory theme. But it's like, this game just feels like one of the best action games I've played in a long time. And it feels it in the early goings, frankly, nothing like an RPG.
Mm.
Just real talk, bro. Even less than I expected. It feels nothing like an RPG.
Mm.
But I'll tell you this: the voice acting. We talked about voice acting earlier,
Oh God.
bro. You're gonna hear this voice acting, and if you ever play Crisis Core again, you're gonna call me and you're gonna apologize. Remember that
Okay.
episode of South Park? The
Oh
episode of
God.
South Park where he pulled his pants down. He was like, "Apologize, bruh." There is a moment. I want you to remember what I say right now. Okay, remember what I say. There's a line in this demo where a certain character is in distress, and you can hear the pain in his voice, and he goes, "I'll kill you." When you get to that, bro, I had chills. I was like, "Oh, I can't wait till this game comes out." And it's that good. Narratively, it's that good. Bro, I didn't even realize this game was so mature. I mean, dude, they got sex, they got beheadings. And this is the thing going in. Did you know the game?
So, hold on.
Did I freeze? Oh, I froze,
Yeah.
didn't I?
Yeah. Say that again.
Am I back? Did you
Yeah.
know the game was rated M?
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
know it was
may have
rated
known at
M.
some point. Okay. See, I may have known that at some point, but I forgot. So it was shocking because I get in and people having sex basically. I'm like, huh? I was like,
Looking
wait,
like Game
this
of Thrones. You're like,
I'm
hold on.
like, this phone?
I'm like, hold on. Am I playing the right
Whoa.
game? Hold on. What's the title?
Yeah, I had to look it up. Like, wait a second. And then, bro, people, when you playing Final Fantasy and you get to the combat scenes, people are slashing, but it ain't no blood. There was spurts of blood, people getting shanked, somebody head got cut. I was like, oh man. Like I said earlier, man, Game of Thrones, the Final Fantasy game. But I'll leave it at that, bro. Definitely, if you get the time, I'd recommend playing the demo. We're so close to the game that we're literally a week away from it. But just playing that opening 2 hours, oh my god, you'll be on the edge of your seat.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna play it tomorrow once I get off of work. So I'll be streaming it twitch.tv/Gunnm21. So you guys can catch me there when I'm playing that.
Let me know, man. I want to see your reactions to it because it's the other reasons I listed are why I have a hard time believing when all is said and done, this will be my favorite Final Fantasy. But man, it's hard for me to say that I've seen anything on this scale in any other Final Fantasy game. But off the heels of another Final Fantasy VII Rebirth trailer, I have an interesting topic of the week for you.
What's up?
As we get closer to the end of the show, I'm sure everyone has seen the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth trailer.
No, of course.
I don't really have more to say about it except this is a good, I guess you could say, year time span for Final Fantasy. Because if you think winter last year to winter this year, or spring whenever Rebirth comes out, we get Crisis Core, which, despite how I feel about it, I think it definitely holds a place in people's hearts as a pivotal moment in Final Fantasy history. Let's say that. We got Final Fantasy 16, and then we got Rebirth at the start of next year, ideally. So I wanted to kind of take a moment to think about some of the Final Fantasy games we either have not played or have played but think could be better. And if you could give the remake treatment, the Final Fantasy VII remake ground up everything treatment to one Final Fantasy game, what would it be?
Final Fantasy VII remake treatment to one game. So this is any game that I want.
It's a Final Fantasy game, to be specific.
Well, yeah, any Final Fantasy.
Yeah, but any of them. Maybe Crisis Core, fixed up voice acting.
I mean, there was a report, but we don't know if it's real or not. You already know what I'm gonna say. Final Fantasy 10.
See, I saw that report, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna say 10. So I was like, make this interesting. But why 10 though? Why 10?
Because 10 came out at the very, very, literally at the beginning of the PS2's life cycle. I think it wasn't it like wasn't it like one of the first games available on release? It was one of the first few.
I don't remember.
It came out either 2000, 2001.
It came out before Kingdom Hearts, so it came out pretty early.
So so it was very early on, and I feel like there's definitely some more potential for it to even be a even better game than it was, even though the story was incredible for that time period. Like it was just an amazing game. Gameplay wise, the characters, story, just everything about it. Like, and I'm sure if you give it the Final Fantasy VII remake treatment and they're willing to commit to even like spreading it out across multiple entries, it'll be an incredible
3
game.
discs. 3 discs.
On 3 discs.
I had the same thought, bro. Yeah. The reason I laughed just now was nothing you said. I just imagined Zach rolling into a ball and spin dashing.
Oh God.
I don't know. It just came to me.
Just always roasting Zach. God
bro,
damn it. I love Zach, y'all. I love Zach. Look, I don't have no problem with him.
I don't. You know what? He'd probably be. If I didn't hate the voice, I'd probably be less hard on him. I will admit, because I like his arc. I do. It's just, I don't know, man. I kind of fell off with the whole single-minded, young Captain America archetype character, you know, and he doesn't really have any. Here's the thing. I may have said this before. The most interesting aspect of Zach deals with what happens around him rather than him as a character. And that makes for a good story. It's just when you analyze the character in a vacuum, I'm just like, all right. But that's neither here nor there. We talking about Final Fantasy remakes, right? 10, I think, is an excellent choice, and it is the one that I would pick if I didn't see those environments reimagined. I'd love to see like a PS5 version of Final Fantasy X. We get to see the Titus laugh in all its glory, all its contextual glory.
Oh God!
Because people do take it out of context. But my pick will actually surprise you. Now, jumping off the heels of Crisis Core, I almost said that because I'm like, it would be nice to have a direct tie-in to the remake, I guess, trilogy. I don't know what direction they're going with it. In the form of a Crisis Core remake, like a true remake. But I'm like, I mean, that game just came out and it did what it was supposed to do. So I have the least amount of face time you could imagine with Final Fantasy 13. But based on the issues people had with it, I feel like that game would be well serviced by a total remake. Like if they made the game what it should have been. You don't think it would help it?
The characters would still be terrible.
Yeah,
they'd have to
even if they
just rewrite the characters. They'd have to rewrite the characters though.
It's that bad
to me.
Man, I don't know, man. Because the main thing I heard, I have heard things about the cast. Sure,
that's why I was shocked by what he said about the character. What Jordan said about the character. I mean, Beet.
Yeah.
I mean, Beets.
Beets by Dray. Yeah, man.
But
the linearity was the main thing that I heard, and so okay, I've heard mixed things about characters. I've heard some people say I like so and so, I like Vanille. I've heard a lot of people say they hate Lightning. I've heard people say the only redeemable character was the black dude.
No,
I don't know why people were saying that.
No, None of them are,
But
pretty much.
any like any snippet I've ever seen, I've just been like,
You see, I used to,
you
you
know,
see, for a long time, Vanille makes you think that way, but then you find out that, she keeps shit in her closet too. Big stinky
but
pile
okay,
of
let me
shit.
ask you this though. Let me ask you this. Does that make her a bad character or does she just do things you don't agree with?
She's
Because if that's what
no,
you
it's
mean, then that's different to me. Because I hate Thanos, but he's a great character.
it's just more like just dumb shit. It's more along the lines of like, who, why? It just makes you question like why like there's just certain actions characters take
Stupid,
that make you
stupid
go like
actions.
stupid shit, and then like just
Yeah,
the way like some of them just act, especially Lightning. Lightning's insufferable. She's just not
yeah.
she's just not redeemable to me as a character. Period.
Well, man, you just shot down my pitch.
So,
So I'm like, I mean, that's the one that. Because 12 would have been an easy answer because I love 12 more than most people I meet. But I was thinking outside the box. Like, what is one that.
maybe you need to just play the game. Maybe you'll have a different opinion of
Yeah,
it. I don't know.
I trust you. I do,
I
but
don't know.
I'll get to it. I'll get to it for sure. I had one more little thing. I had a side quest.
Okay.
I know we haven't been doing a lot of those lately, but it's a quick one just to cap off the show. Okay, think of one of your favorite characters in the Final Fantasy series, any of the
Okay.
games.
Okay.
And then what is the weirdest moment that character has had? Like what did they do? Like you
Oh
love the
God.
character, but they did something that just had you looking side-eyed at them.
Uh, don't do this to me.
Huh?
Don't do this to me. Uh,
Oh, based on that, I think I know where you're going with this.
oh my God. When at the what do they call the place? The Honeybee Inn Lounge or whatever. You already know where I'm going. When Cloud dressed up to infiltrate, to basically get prettied up to infiltrate Don Cornell's mansion.
You didn't like that?
I
You
mean,
weeb? You're a
uh,
weeb though. I thought weebs like that kind of stuff.
I might have to do it. But it was just like, man, what is this? It was like,
Why cut it? That's how you feel.
I'm like, why are you doing this? Why
No,
is this
no, look,
necessary?
fully. I don't, it's weird, man, because we just accept that as a thing that happened. So when it came up in the remake, I didn't really have any thoughts because I knew it was coming. I knew what was gonna happen. Um, it is it's very 90s for sure. It's very
Yeah,
90s. Uh, strange little sequence of events, but we got a dancing mini game out of it.
yeah, we did, and that was cool.
Hmm.
That was cool, but the dress.
Yeah, people were excited to see Cloud in that dress.
It's
They were
like
like, "Ooh, what's he gonna look like in the?"
how do you not see this big old bulky hulky dude like in a dress and not recognize it? Like I don't get it.
It's because Cloud is a pretty dude. You know what I mean? He got
Uh,
that Final Fantasy anime protagonist thing going on. So mistake him for a girl. He's just a girl that lifts. You know what I mean? A girl that flips a few tires in her spare time.
Oh my god.
But interesting choice because yeah, I don't know. I just remembered that from Final Fantasy VII, so it didn't bug me that much. In hindsight, it is like it's like the plot out of a '90s rom com or something. But mine might surprise you a little.
Yeah.
So Gladio
Yeah.
from Final Fantasy 15, love the guy. There was a moment in 15 that just soured me on his character for a while. And it kind of speaks to that narrative dissonance when you're like watching the dubbed version of a Japanese story. I know that's painting with a broad brush, but you know what I mean. How there's some stuff characters do in anime or in certain RPGs where you're like, people don't talk like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
people don't. This is kind what
Pretty much.
channeling Trails of Cold Steel. But anyway, uh, dude, you remember spoilers when Luna dies
Mm.
and Noctis is like sad about it, and Gladio just grabs him and puts him up against the wall or
Oh
whatever. It was
yeah.
wild. But he just grabs him and he's like, "Get over it." I was like,
Hold on. Yeah, I do remember that.
I was like,
I was like, hold
his
on. Yeah, I do
girl
recall
just
going like
died,
that.
bro.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I
I was
was
like, what the fuck? Hold on. Did I miss
now.
something?
Ready, right? Did we miss like 5 missions that were cut from the game where he was just moping and depressed the whole time? Now, I'd like to just chalk that up to, he's impulsive. It's his character. He didn't know how to, his masculinity prevented him from processing his emotions. Whatever. Whatever, bro. I just think it was a weird moment. It was
It
like,
was.
your girl died, so
Get
get
over it,
over it.
bitch.
Man up. That's what it felt like. And maybe it was because spoilers. They knew Noctis was gonna die anyway. But I'm just like, what a choice. What a choice. I don't know
Yeah.
what the writers were thinking. Maybe they were playing 4D chess and they smarter than me and they were like, well, this is his character and this is how he handles emotionality. I'm like, I thought that was wild and out of nowhere. I don't
Mm.
know. It's like the most forceful moment this character has throughout the story is grabbing up his young friend, his little brother, his ward, and saying, "Bro, we ain't got time for this. He dead. That's it."
Yeah.
That was forever burned. I mean, and people probably don't even think about that. But that moment is burned into my memory just from how abrupt it was.
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember that, like, kind of shocking me a little bit too. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
At
yeah.
first,
I'm like,
I'm like, damn,
all
bro,
right.
this girl just
Yeah.
died.
Yeah. Oh man. But hey man, that's pretty much all we got for today. It feels like we went long today, so
Yeah.
let's start to wrap it up now. We had plenty to talk about, and next week we'll have even more to talk about with the release of Final Fantasy 16. But
Mm.
before we get to that, where can they find you?
Well, you guys know where to find me. So Twitter at Topics the Creator. So on YouTube as well, youtube.com/@Gunnm921. Tumblr, Gunnm.tumblr.com, as well as, what's the last one? God damn it, there's too many, bro. They'll be down at the bottom. Can't remember this time. Can't be bothered.
A lot of them. Well, you can find me on YouTube at Goals in Fitness or Dray the Spectre on pretty much everything else. That was a Dap It Up podcast. And remember, if your girl dies, get over it.
Yep. And 13 sucks. All right, later.